Right, welcome back to the Vengacast. Today I'm here with Andy,
Hello.
and today I think Andy's just going to tell his story about what Adam called him out for yesterday in the podcast, changing teams from the Cardinals to the Chiefs, and then we're just going to look a bit more into NFL in the UK, how it's getting more popular, sort of games that are on here, and then I think we're just going to make a few predictions for the Chiefs in the upcoming season. Well, we've got a Chiefs fan here.
Yep, you do
Sound
indeed.
good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Right, I'll let you start then. When did you start supporting the Cardinals?
I'm not 100% sure of what year exactly, but
Yeah.
it was about around 3 years ago maybe, and
All right.
I
So I'll let you go.
okay, yeah, the reasoning for that was there wasn't that much, to be fair. It was just the first NFL game I watched, I think they were playing in it and they won the game. So I just sort of decided to pick them based on that.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, was there a particular reason for the Cardinals, or was it just a quick decision?
Yeah, it was a quick decision. And then after I made that, I sort of tried to follow the NFL for a bit, but it wasn't really up until this season that I started following it properly.
Yeah, properly.
I guess the season before I was sort of into it a bit because we obviously had a fantasy league.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it wasn't fair of me to have jumped straight into that decision because I was actually listening to I think it was your first podcast with James.
Yeah. Yeah, the one the other day.
Yeah. And you were you took a while. You took a year to watch it, and then you made a decision. I feel that's sort of what I should have done rather than just jumping straight in.
Yeah, I know that's sort of what Lewis Hope, who we know, he's doing it now. He sort of chose Pittsburgh, didn't he? But he's sort of thinking now.
Yeah.
Reconsidering.
So, and then I guess it was after the 2017 season where was it then? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
When I guess I made the decision to stop supporting the Cardinals.
And why was that? Wait, we'll start off with why did you stop supporting the Cardinals?
I wasn't really too happy with what the franchise was doing, not gonna lie.
That's fair enough. The Cardinals are a mess.
That was sort of the start of the downward spiral for the Cardinals.
Although, to be fair to the Cardinals, they look like they're back on the up now.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should have stuck around. Hello?
Nah. You picked a better team, let's be honest.
Yeah, but in my defense, I hadn't really looked into what was going to happen it was the season just gone. I wasn't too aware of how well the Chiefs would do, and I completely wasn't expecting them to do as well.
I don't think anyone saw the season that Patrick Mahomes had coming or anything like that.
Yeah, so I guess making decisions I think ironically, the Cardinals got rid of Matthew, the safety, who the Chiefs have just signed up.
Yeah, no. You're back with him.
Yeah, exactly. Reunited with him. And then it was just sort of other decisions like that. And then obviously there was a little bit of a joke happened in our group chat.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Of course.
Then I'll give my side on it.
Of course. I mean, we all thought it would be funny just to try and see if we could convince you that the Cardinals were moving to San Diego, since the San Diego Chargers had moved the year before. However, my James and Adam's elite Photoshop skills obviously done the job. So we convinced you for quite a bit.
I I completely knew you had made up the badge. Like that was completely obvious.
Yeah.
But
It was Comic Sans, so
yeah, and it just wasn't a very good job. Not gonna lie.
well, it was Comic Sans. It was never going to be.
I guess because I wasn't following the NFL too religiously at that point.
Yeah.
I wasn't really. I didn't sort of have that same connection to the Cardinals at that time that I did when I first decided to pick them, and it wasn't really thinking back on it. It wasn't really that strong when I first picked them.
Yeah, so I guess we should sort of look more into why did you decide the Chiefs after the Cardinals?
I don't know why, honestly. It was just sort of there was a couple of teams going around in my head, like that. I just thought, I guess I kind of liked.
Yeah.
So I was thinking Detroit Lions as well. They were,
Ooh.
but
Oof.
you were quite against that one.
Yes, definitely.
Um,
Not a fan of Detroit.
yeah. So would have been interesting to see if I had.
Nah, no one comes in the NFC North. Nobody.
No one's allowed to come in.
No one's allowed anywhere near it.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything in particular. It's just they were the team that I happened to choose, and I guess looking back on it, I couldn't have picked a better team realistically.
No, definitely not. I mean, well, I guess, yeah, well, we'll sort of say that. What was it like your first season supporting the Chiefs, I guess?
It
It
was
seemed pretty good from the outside.
it was all right.
You know,
Yeah, we
one of
were
the best teams in the NBA, casual.
NBA.
Oh, NFL.
It's all
What an
right.
honor.
Same thing. But yeah, we played really well throughout the season. Sort of dropped off a bit towards the end of um towards the last few weeks, but yeah, the Mahomes, whatever he was, superhuman.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like if you just watch some of his highlights, you can just see how good he was and why he was the main reason the Chiefs done so well.
Yeah, I think this is a stupid question because I know exactly what you're going to say because I watched it as well. Highlight of the season, best game.
Oh,
Even though you lost,
yeah. Even though
I
we
still
lost,
think you've got to
it's
say
it was
unbelievable game.
that Monday night football game against the Rams.
Yeah,
That was probably the best game of American football I've seen in my life.
I would probably have to agree from a neutral point of view.
Oh yeah, well, even from a losing side point of view, like it was just unbelievable. Like both teams' offenses were just going at it. To be fair, the defenses weren't exactly playing terrible because we had a few forced fumbles. They had a few forced fumbles as well.
It was just, in my opinion, it was just two of the league's best offenses meeting head to head.
It would have been so nice to have seen a repeat of that in the Super Bowl final.
Yep, I think we all would have wanted that.
Yeah,
because the actual Super Bowl, bit underwhelming.
I completely agree. Yeah, it was worse than it was the season before, where
the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, by I think 1 or 2 points or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the defenses played well, but my MVP was definitely either of the two punters. Like
yeah, Johnny Hecker.
They were outstanding for the whole of the game.
Yeah, that sums it up really. MVP should have went to the punters, but that's not allowed.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't an option. So yeah, they need to start pick up on that, I think.
Yeah, so I would say once you knew Chiefs are making the off-season, making the playoffs, what was the playoff run like? I know you faced James's team along the way, the Colts.
The Colts, yeah.
What was that game like?
It was
obviously sort of a bit of group chat bragging rights as well.
Yeah, it was. I tried to like not be a dickhead about it. Not gonna lie, because I could have easily been a dickhead,
Yeah.
but because I knew I hadn't been supporting the Chiefs for that long, and I knew James wouldn't have been in the mood. I tried to be about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously after that, the big one that was so close,
We're
so close to beating the
close
Patriots.
in that Patriots game. Yeah, like there were a couple of things that I thought were just really annoying about that game. It was just we started off slow. If we had started off better, got a few touchdowns in those first few sets that we had.
Yeah, because had you even scored before halftime? I'm trying to remember.
I think we might have had a field goal.
A field goal, yeah.
I think, but yeah. And then obviously that D Ford offside.
Yeah, we're gonna get on to him a bit later as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like 6 inches was the difference between being in the Super Bowl and not being in the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Now then, I guess, just like you, NFL fan from the UK.
Yeah.
Same as me. Same as many of us.
Yeah.
What do you think about the NFL growing in the UK? Because it definitely is getting bigger. Definitely.
Yeah, I really like it because...
I mean, why did you get into it?
I don't...
Was it just a choice? Did you force yourself, or was it just natural?
So, I think a lot of it has to do with the coverage. So, Sky Sports.
Yeah, definitely. That's a major part for me as well.
Yeah, so I think it's like a Sunday night at 9:00 where there's not really anything else on TV. My dad, who was already an NFL fan, he'd normally have whatever match was on.
Who does your dad support out of interest?
He supports the Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's even rougher than if I had...
Yeah, that is very rough.
Yeah. To be fair, they started off last season all right, but...
Yeah, this season I think they're in for a rough time, being in the same division as the Ravens, Steelers and Browns.
Yeah, seeing how the Browns have strengthened is extremely scary.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
I think I'm looking forward to seeing what the Ravens have to offer. To be fair, because Jackson was exciting to watch last season.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's definitely like a Michael Vick sort of style, who I think the NFL's been missing for a while.
Yeah, sort of a quarterback.
I mean, we've had that Cam Newton sort of doing it. Josh Allen showed glimpses of that last year, but Lamar Jackson seems very pure running quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's the best currently in the league at scrambling for a QB, who's able to get yards from it. But I think what's also impressive about scrambling QBs is it gives your offense another option, another edge, rather than just having the quarterback staying stationary in the pocket.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, how you were saying you were getting into NFL, because of Sky.
Yeah.
Before that, had you been because I know the BBC have showed the Super Bowl every year, and I know personally I've been watching the Super Bowl since 2008 or 9, just because it's the Super Bowl, and I felt like I had to watch it. I don't know if it was the same for you.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the same. I never really had a reason to watch it. Back in 2008-9 when you said you started watching it, it was. I think I was aware of it when I was younger, but it sort of never interested me because it was on at night time and it was a sport I wasn't really that interested in. Because when I was younger, I was extremely interested and invested into football, Premier League. Yeah, quite heavily.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel a need to branch into any other sport.
Yeah, sports at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll go on to then the NFL UK games.
Yeah.
Have you seen what the games are at the NFL UK this year? I guess we can we'll just go through them one by one.
Yeah.
Right, so first we've got a divisional rivalry, and one of our friends supports the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are facing the Carolina Panthers.
I think this is going to be an interesting one because Tampa Bay, like, it's a weird one. They've got a goodish offense, but I
Yeah,
think
they've also got a head coach you will know very well, obviously being an ex-Cardinals fan in Bruce Arians.
yeah. Um, the only issue I find with Tampa Bay is I'm not convinced on their quarterbacks, like
Yeah.
on Jameis Winston or Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, me and I guess we can name drop. Yeah, Dan, Dan, our mate, who
Yeah,
is decided to support the Bucks. I was saying to him a few weeks ago, I think this is Jimmy, like Winston's make or break year. This is his year to prove he deserves to be a starting quarterback. If not, I can't say how much longer he'll last in
yeah,
Tampa Bay.
yeah. I completely agree. I can see them if he doesn't do that well, them drafting a quarterback next year. For sure.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I thought Tampa Bay were going to do well this season, but all the other teams in their division are sort of getting stronger, including the Panthers, and I'm not too sure anymore. Could
Yeah,
be another rough year for the Bucks.
potentially. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like the Panthers didn't have the greatest of seasons last year, which I found quite
Yeah,
surprising.
yeah. Especially they'd been on a good run for the few years before that.
Yeah, like I I think having Greg Olson injured was a massive part in that.
Yeah,
He I think he's one of the better of the tight ends in the league for sure.
yeah,
But
definitely.
I think he was a big miss last season.
Right. So, if you had to make a prediction for that game now,
Uh,
what would you say?
uh,
I'm not too fussed about the exact score, but who do you think will win?
um, I'm gonna go controversial. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I'm gonna say
I think, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it'll be close, but I think Tampa Bay will just edge this one.
I can see them being up
Obviously,
for it, being a divisional game. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say obviously quite a big rivalry. Don't really like each other. Um, yeah, I got to agree. I think Tampa Bay probably just edges that one. Obviously, they've just lost to Sean Jackson, but they do still have a bit of firepower on that offense.
Yeah, they've still got Mike Evans, the likes of Mike Evans.
Yeah, and I know we were saying about Winston before. I do have a weird feeling that he will be good this year. I can't say him definitely improving. He just needs to stay fit
Yeah,
because that's been his major issue the last few years.
yeah, I agree. Like, if you're not staying fit in any sport, like,
Yeah, you're always going to struggle.
yeah,
Right, the next game. I'll let you talk about this one first. The Chicago Bears at the Oakland Raiders.
yeah. I mean, if you had asked me this a week ago, I would have said Chicago Bears without a doubt.
Yeah,
Like, just going off of last season's performances, the Raiders, who are in our division, pretty woeful. Not gonna lie, quite embarrassing as far
I
as
don't think anyone would argue there with you.
yeah. And then the Bears obviously had a really, really good season last season.
I guess probably the main story in this match is obviously the Raiders last season traded Khalil Mack to the Bears, and now he's returning to face them.
Yeah, and then
Be interesting to see. Sort of, I guess you can't really call it a revenge game because they sort of done him a favour.
yeah, without a doubt, Mack was really, really impressive last season.
Yep, I can definitely tell you that.
Yeah, yeah, you would know, being a divisional rival, but
Yeah, unfortunately, I think, however, like you were saying, last season, Oakland woeful. This season, some of the moves that they've made can
yeah,
say they're having a better year. Maybe a bit worrying for you in their division.
potentially, yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be worrying for us because we've had a few personnel changes in our defense, so we've lost the likes of Houston and Ford, but
Yeah,
we have gained Matthew, as I was saying earlier.
yeah,
Question of whether he'll be able to slot in and like be able to work as a part of the unit. But
I mean, there's no doubt in his quality. He's one of the top safeties in the league.
Yeah.
It's just, I sort of agree with what you said. The amount of people you've got rid on defense to a defense that was already very weak. I think ranked 30th in the league last season.
Yeah, 31st.
Quite questionable.
Albeit, like, our defense, it's a weird one because I think we were something like number 1 for sacks. Or like
I was going to say, you
like,
love your mate Chris Jones. He's still there.
Chris Jones, he's underrated. I think he set a record for the most sacks. The most games in a row with a sack of 11.
Yeah, I mean that is impressive, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, it was a weird one because we were able to sack. We were just giving away too many points.
Yeah, you were sort of like I sort of want to say like a Kevin Keegan entertainers version in the NFL.
Yeah.
Just will score more than you mentality.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely seen in that game against the Rams. Like, our offense was on fire, but
I mean,
we leaked points throughout the.
I mean, whenever I watched you last season, the good thing about watching the Chiefs is it might not be good from a fan's point of view like yours, but for a neutral, you were guaranteed a good game pretty much every time you watched the Chiefs.
Yeah, because we were pretty much guaranteed points, and we were guaranteed to concede points as well. So it was just a question.
Of course, just a really good match.
Yeah. Going back to the game, I think the addition of Antonio Brown is a really good one for the Raiders. They were in need of a big marquee signing, and
he's replacing Amari Cooper, who was obviously their star wide receiver last year. But you could argue Brown's another level there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Brown is stronger than Amari Cooper, but Cooper did have a good season last season as well.
Yeah, Cooper's also much younger.
Yeah, so there's a potential that he could be better than Brown, but I think as it is, I'd say Brown's probably at his peak right now. And it'll be interesting to see how well he does this season.
Yeah, I think this season, you'll have a good season this year, but I think the reason he is signed for the Raiders is because he wants to sort of be the poster boy for their Vegas move.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah. Is what a one team city, like big city. Yeah, he's
famous city.
Yeah, he's gonna love the attention.
Yeah, so the Raiders adding a lot of firepower. You could probably say the opposite for the Bears. A lot of that defense, which was number 1 in the league last year, leaving. Adrian Amos leaving to divisional rivals, the Packers.
Yeah.
They lost Bryce Callahan to the Broncos today. They're losing a lot of their good defensive players.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that Bears defense works next season because they were one of the top defenses last season.
Yeah, and their defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, he's also now left to become head coach at the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos.
A lot.
Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos had
the Bears quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot of movement in that Bears defense. Can you see them matching how well they done last year?
No, I don't think they'll be as good a defense as they were last season.
You don't think they'll be number 1 again?
I don't think they'll be number 1, but I think they'll be top 10 still because they've still got the likes of Mac and if you've got like a star name like that in your D line, you're always gonna.
It always helps.
Yeah, it always helps.
Right, so I'll get your score prediction for this one then.
Ooh.
I don't know why I'm saying score prediction. Just win or lose. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose?
I
think you know who I'm going to go with. I'm very biased.
Yeah, you are. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yep, same again.
I think being in the UK will help them because Raiders are one of the biggest teams in the UK in terms of fan support. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think feel more like a home game to them than it will be to the Bears.
And
yeah,
well, it's classed as the Raiders home game.
Yeah, and I think with the firepower that they've got now in Brown, I can just see them maybe edging a win against the Bears. I think it'll be close though.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Right. Next game in the UK, your dad will be interested in this one. It's the Bengals at the Rams. That could be a whitewash.
Yeah, I mean, unless the Bengals do some serious business in the free agency or sign some absolute major talents in the draft. Yeah, I can't see their season in general going that well. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the Rams will match last season's success, making the Super Bowl, obviously?
I don't know. A lot of other teams have strengthened.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams will be up there again this year. Whether they'll win, I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl. I can see them getting to the final, maybe. Yeah, I think they'll be one of the better teams again this year, so, for sure.
Yeah. And then for the Bengals, obviously, if your dad supports them, you'll have quite a close relationship with them. Do you sort of root for the Bengals on the side, or do you not care?
I'm not too bothered. If anything, I kind of root for them to not do as well, just so I can
rub it in.
Yeah, but you never know. The Bengals could cause an upset if they.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of questions around Andy Dalton being the Bengals quarterback. Some people asking if he's good enough. What do you think, Andy Dalton?
He's very much a sort of. He's a very experienced quarterback. He's been to the Pro Bowl quite a few times, but I've never always been fully convinced on him. Like, he seems to be one of those quarterbacks who's sort of consistently all right.
Yeah, average.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as someone who's able to just pull out an amazing season out of nowhere like Mahomes did. Like, your Breezes, your Brady's, your Rodgers, you know.
And Dalton would have to do that this year to get anywhere near the top in that division.
Yeah, like, I can see it being another rough year for the Bengals.
Oh, definitely. I think you could. I don't want to be too harsh on the Bengals, but I think you could almost lock in now that they're going to finish bottom of that division.
Yeah, of how badly are they going to do more than.
I don't even think the Bengals are that bad. It's just everyone else in that division is so good.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the Cardinals over in the NFC West.
Yeah.
Like, you've sort of got them, and then you've got San Francisco, who I thought showed a lot of promise last season with the likes of Kittle, and then him with Garoppolo coming back into the side. I think they're going to have a better season than they did last season. And then you've sort of got the Seahawks, who...
The Seahawks are always there, aren't they? They're just always there and about.
They're always there. And then, obviously, the Rams, as we've talked about. Yeah.
Right. Who's winning that game?
I can't see anyone other than the Rams winning that game.
Yeah, I think that. Unless I don't want to say a miracle, but it would be quite a big shock if the Bengals got anything from that.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, what gives the Bengals the best chance there is that match isn't in LA, it's in London. There's going to be quite a lot of neutral fans there.
Yeah, I'd still say more one-sided towards the Rams.
I think the Rams still have a bigger following.
They're an LA team. Yeah, they're going to have. I see more LA Rams fans than I do Bengals fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, the last UK game then for this year. The Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. A divisional rivalry again.
Yeah, another one. I think this. I think this one will be interesting.
I think this is the closest game out of all of them, probably.
Yeah,
This or the Panthers game is the closest one, in my opinion.
I'd probably say this one. Yeah, you've got the Jags who have recently acquired Nick Foles.
Yep.
Who had that? Who's just one of those quarterbacks who's able to clutch up.
I was going to say he's that's what he's known for, getting the job done.
Yeah, he's one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's a top player.
I also think, in my opinion, the Jaguars have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and the Texans now have one of the best offenses, and I think that's going to be quite a good head-to-head when it happens.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting showdown, both there and over.
And I was going to say, if I had the pick one of these games to go to, it would be this one, definitely.
Yeah, I think you've got the rivalry there. You've got sort of a good defense against a very good offense. Like,
yeah,
in theory, it's gonna be really close and very interesting to watch.
I mean, personally, one of my favourite players who isn't a Packer in the NFL is Jalen Ramsey, and I just think I'd love to see him and DeAndre Hopkins just go up against each other. I think that'll be one hell of a matchup.
Yeah, Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL for sure.
Definitely now. He proved that last year.
Yeah, he proved it last year. He's got the ability to catch one-handed. He's a good deep threat wide receiver. He scores a lot of touchdowns, gets them a lot of yards. He's one of the best in the league currently for sure.
Yeah, and then I think obviously you were saying about Nick Foles. It'll be so interesting to see what he can do to that Jaguars offense, because it's not one of the best in the league, if we're being honest. So it'll be interesting to see how much he can change that himself.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars will need to sign a wide receiver though.
Yeah, because they've just let Dante Moncrief leave. He's went to the Steelers.
Yeah, that's going to be he's going to be a big miss, I think, because he was like
their best receiver, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Right then, who's winning that? Probably the closest one out of the four.
I'm gonna go controversial. I'm gonna say the Jags.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Jags win. I think the Texans probably just edge that one though.
Yeah, I can see that one going either way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I'd also prefer to see the Jags win, just because.
Obviously, yeah, the Jags very disappointing last year, but the season before that they made the AFC Championship, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if they can get that form again, because I definitely think that they can.
Yeah, I think they need to shore up that attack though if they want to compete at that level again.
Yeah. Right, I've also just found this list. This will be quite interesting to go through. The top 10 best support teams in the UK.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to let you guess. One by one. Who do you think is number one?
Number one. I'm gonna have to say Packers.
No.
No.
You should get this. Think about Glory Seekers. Who would Glory Seekers support?
Oh, the Patriots.
Yes, with 10%. 10% of people who took this poll in the UK support the Patriots.
That surprises me, because up here in Newcastle, where we live, I don't see many Patriots like hats.
I think it's because they're ashamed to admit it. that they are glory seekers.
If I was a Patriots fan, I would be ashamed to admit it as well.
Yes.
I think just having the name New England as well, and people from England, I can see.
They read it and go, you know what, that'll do.
Yeah, I can see that also being a reason for it.
I've never thought of that as a reason before, but maybe.
Yeah, possibly. That's a disappointing stat.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory why they're number one, though. It's pretty obvious. People want to support a good team, they're going to pick them, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to them, what they've done over the past like decade or so has been incredible. Like,
yeah, it won't happen again. The Brady Belichick era, nothing will come close to this ever again.
Yeah, you've just got to give them props on that. But
as much as I hate them, I respect the hell out of them still.
Oh yeah, like.
I mean, you've probably got the second best quarterback of all time there, probably the best coach of all time.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about GOATs another time, I think, because
yes,
that's another controversial.
We all know who the real GOAT is. He wears green and gold. But anyway, number two. Yep.
I feel, well, it'd be stupid for me to say anything other than what I thought would be first, so I'm going to guess Packers this time.
You're spot on. Yeah. My boys, the Packers. I didn't realise we were this heavily supported in the UK, but 7%.
It's that like, it's weird. It's I don't know why. Like,
I also don't know why. I can't explain why I support the Packers, so I don't know why 7% of us do.
Yeah, so for those who aren't aware, me and Adam actually played a little bit of American football at last year, and the vast majority of people who played for our team were Packers fans.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Packers, but
I don't know. Like, it's anything but the major city, Green Bay. It's a small little town in Wisconsin. I guess, I don't know. I guess it's Aaron Rodgers is probably the main reason I can think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, off the top of my head, that's the main reason I think people would support them.
Yeah, I literally just can't think of any other reason why. We've never played in the UK. We're the only team who haven't played in the UK, and we've got the second biggest UK following.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one.
I think I might be biased. Yeah, I don't think this is biased. I think this is a perfectly fine statement. I think the Packers are the best supported team in the NFL. Full stop.
I do not know enough on the. I do not.
They've sold out every home game since the 60s. And keep in mind, this is an 82,000 CS stadium in the middle of a town. That's like nowhere near any major cities. The season ticket waiting list is like 90 plus years, I think. So basically, you're not getting one because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And I don't think any other team, when you consider everything, I don't think any other team comes close.
I mean, I'd have to look into it before I'd give my opinion on that, but
that's fair enough.
I think the fact it being not close to any major cities helps it in a way, because it means it's not.
You don't. You don't have like an affiliation or something.
And you don't have another team in the same city as you, for example.
Yeah. I think if Green Bay didn't have the history that it did, it would probably move to Milwaukee, like a major city in Wisconsin like that. But it's just too historical to move them now. You can't change anything about that team. They made the NFL pretty much. Winner of the first 2 Super Bowls. Speaks for itself. Right. Number 3.
Let's see. There's like a few teams. I'm just going to list a few teams that I think is going to be in the next couple of guesses. So I think the Giants are up there. The Raiders are up there. The Steelers are up there. Like, I think I don't know which out of the 3 would be.
If you had to guess one, who takes your number 3 spot?
I'd probably say. I don't know. I'd say Giants just purely because they're in New York.
Correct again.
Yeah.
Giants number 3, 5%. Why do you think that is? Because they are awful. Let's be honest, they are shocking. And I think the reason that this is 5% is because of Odell Beckham Jr. And I think a lot of this 5% will now become Cleveland Browns fans.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment.
I think Giants fans would agree as well. I know Adam would agree with that.
Yeah, I think being the most renowned team from New York, which is one of the
that was a controversial statement.
Well, thing is though, if you had asked me, like when I was first getting into NFL, what team I would think of first if someone said New York, I would have said Giants.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. I think it's because obviously the more recent Super Bowls.
Yeah, more recent history than the Jets, and
yeah,
I think. Yeah, I think it probably is down to their recent history that they are they're the third most supported team in the UK.
Yeah, definitely. Right, number 4. This one's probably the biggest surprise for me on the list. I can't believe these are number 4.
So I'm assuming by what you said there, it's not one of my two guesses.
It's neither of who you mentioned before.
Okay, let me have a bit of a think.
I guess it does sort of make sense. And I do know people who support this team. I didn't expect them to be at number 4 though.
Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking Seahawks.
No.
Okay.
No.
The
other coast.
Really? That Miami?
Yep, Miami.
That high?
5% again.
I knew they'd be on the list, but
I didn't expect that number 4 though. I knew they would be in the top 10, but not number 4.
Wow, that's a bit of a upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that one speaks for itself again. I think purely because they are Miami.
Miami, yeah, major city in America.
Because I cannot think of any other reason why people would choose to support the Dolphins.
People go on holiday to Florida. They're the big Florida team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the minute, the Dolphins don't even have a quarterback.
I mean, I'm not sure they had one even before the last week.
Very true. Very true. Ryan Tannehill, bit questionable.
I'm pretty sure they're probably still assessing whether he's good or not.
He's left. That's what I'm saying. They don't have one now.
Yeah,
he went to the Titans.
I know. They were probably still assessing whether he was good or not.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, not gonna lie.
Right, number 5. You mentioned them before.
I mentioned them before. I'm gonna go.
Who did you think was going to be number 4?
Steelers.
No.
Oh, who I mentioned? Oh, Seahawks.
Yes, 4.8%. Shout out Dan Bell, chilling in Oxford at the minute. Hopefully listening to this. You better be, Dan.
He's back home.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, you better be listening to this.
Yeah, shout out Dan.
Right, the Seahawks, number 5.
I guess I can think their recent history,
Yeah, a few Super Bowl appearances, make the playoffs pretty much every year. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson. I think there's plenty of reasons. Seattle's a major place.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why this is this high.
Yeah. Seattle's another major city.
Yeah. I remember when I was first getting in the NFL, the Seahawks for me were like the team, like the best team. They were sort of like the team that was getting there every year. Although I didn't really pay that much attention then, otherwise I'd have probably noticed it was the Patriots. But have to learn that the hard way.
True. Yeah, the Seahawks are just they're one of those teams there. They've got a good system in place. They know what it takes to go far in the NFL. They're one of those teams with just a quality side.
Yeah. Number 6, another surprise for me. A team you would have known very well when you were a Cardinals fan in your division.
I
guess this does make sense. Another major city.
Which one of the two? Because
there is two. There is two.
The fact you said to me this is a surprise, I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Correct again. 4.7%. They were 0.1% off the Seahawks.
Man. So a lot of UK competition in that division.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I think.
Good bit of rivalry there.
Yeah, I think major city San Francisco is probably the big reason why people support them.
Yeah, brand new stadium. I think with the sort of timing's being right for the 49ers, yeah, because I remember a year where like Sky sort of were pushing the NFL massively was the year that the 49ers were hosting the Super Bowl and they were getting shown quite a lot. Obviously, that brand new stadium was broadcast live to the world. I think a lot of people would have went, oh, that's a nice area, San Francisco. 49ers might be a team I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, they're also a team who in the past had spell where they were the top team. And so they've got a good history behind them.
Yeah. Number 7. I think, to be honest, I think the rest of these are a shock except number 10. Number 7. You have any idea?
Oh, if the rest of these are a shock.
Except number 10. You have mentioned them, but you haven't mentioned the rest.
I haven't mentioned the rest. Okay.
It's coming in at number 7.
Number 7. Ooh. I'm honestly trying to go through.
We may have already seen the team from this city.
From the city.
Yes.
The Jets.
Yes.
That's surprising.
It's sort of, I don't know. It surprises me, but doesn't surprise me at the same time because
I think because we know the kind of team the Jets are, that's why it surprises us.
Yes, but I also definitely think New York is by far the most popular American city in the UK. So people would just look at the New York teams and pick between them.
Yeah, I agree.
And I sort of feel people might have looked at the Giants' success and chose the Jets for that reason, because some people enjoy the sort of suffering at first and building up into the success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I think as if you were a novice looking into the sport, didn't know what any of the teams were like, I can see why someone would pick the New York Jets.
I'm just looking now, and this list is from 2016, so this could actually be quite different now.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's pretty accurate. Only 3 years apart.
Yeah, I can understand why.
Right, number 8. Oh, I'm not a fan of this one.
Okay, so that means it's probably a divisional rival of yours.
Yes.
Is it the Bears?
Yes, it is. With 4.12%.
Yeah, another big American city, very popular here.
Huge. I might not like the Bears, but I love Chicago.
Oh, that's interesting.
I've been to Chicago. It's a class city.
Where haven't you been, Joe? Where haven't you been?
Yes. I haven't been to Seattle. I haven't been to Green Bay.
Okay.
Haven't been to New England.
I was just. I know you're a very well-traveled person.
Thank you. Right. Why are the Bears in 8th?
I just off the top of my head, this isn't even linked to NFL, by the way, but I think the Chicago Bulls.
The Bulls, yeah.
I think
obviously the Bulls probably one of the most historical NBA teams.
Yeah, I think that has to be. I think that's the reason, because people will.
What? So people who support the Bulls just automatically choose the Bears as well?
Because they're another Chicago team.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm getting into baseball at the minute, and I support the Brewers because of the Packers.
Yeah.
If I just went straight into MLB, I probably wouldn't have chose the Brewers.
Fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why you think that. That probably is the reason for quite a lot of Bulls fans.
Yeah.
Same with the Cubs. The Cubs are another huge team in baseball, who I'm also not a fan of. But I think a lot of Cubs fans would transition automatically to Bears.
And the White Sox as well, aren't they, Chicago?
Yeah, the White Sox are also Chicago, but I know the Cubs are a lot bigger than the White Sox. Well, that's what I've gathered anyway. I'm quite new to the MLB, but that's what I've gathered.
Fair. I am also not experienced in MLB, so yeah.
I watch way too many sports, and that's why I started this podcast.
Fair one.
Right, number 9.
Ooh, realistically, by this point, any team, because we've
Yeah,
had
I'll narrow it down. It's NFC East.
NFC East.
You know, Adam's division.
Uh, it's Dallas, surely.
No, that's
No.
like I think the biggest shock of this list, and this could be different now, and I think it probably would be, is that Dallas isn't in the top 10.
Wow, that
I think that is the biggest shock from this list, that Dallas hasn't made the top 10, and neither have the Steelers.
Wow. Yeah,
But the
Dallas,
Jets and the Redskins made it. It's the Redskins at 9th. Yes.
My next, I was thinking the Eagles, but then because the list
Yep.
2016,
I would have, if you asked me before I read this list who I would have thought was the least popular team in that division, I would have said the Redskins, but no, they're the second.
I can sort of, can I? I don't know.
I can't.
I
have no idea how they're here.
I know of I've seen one person in a Washington Redskins hat.
I've never seen it. I've never met a Redskins fan in my life.
Actually, interestingly, Adam also has a Washington Redskins hat.
Oh, is this true?
Yes, it is.
Oh, exposed. Exposed.
But to be fair to him,
is this revenge for him calling you out yesterday?
It's just it links.
Very true.
To be fair, I think it had something to do with, like, he told his mom he was into NFL. I think he has some family out there, maybe
in Washington.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was bought for him. So
that's fair enough then. That would have been very controversial for a Giants fan to be wearing Redskins gear.
But can we just go back to the Cowboys quickly?
Yeah, that baffles me as well. I have no idea how they aren't here.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, they're sort of called America's team. Is that?
Yeah.
So they're probably one of the biggest in America.
I think that they're the most well-supported team in America. But then when they ask people, they're also the most disliked team in America.
Right. But see that because they're the most supported team in America, you would think
that would translate. I know Cowboys fans over here. This is probably why I'm like amazed by this. I know quite a few Cowboys fans.
Yeah. That I guess maybe because Dallas isn't the biggest city.
I don't know. I don't know how they're not here. I would have put, when I think historical teams in the NFL and teams who are well supported, for me it's like the Packers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks,
the Steelers.
But yeah, I mean, obviously supporting America is different to supporting the UK, but I think I'd still blow my mind that Dallas isn't on here for the UK.
I find it weird that also, as you said just a few minutes ago, Pittsburgh on there as well.
Yeah, I know Lewis was going to support Pittsburgh, but he's changing his mind as well.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that decision.
Maybe that's why the Steelers don't have fancy. Yeah, they all go and then decide, nah, don't fancy that.
Maybe, but yeah, I've seen a few like Pittsburgh tops around, like
yeah. Steelers have had stars as well. Like stars play there. They've just got rid of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. They've had Big Ben for a few years.
Ben, yeah.
They've had star power. I thought they'd be on here.
Yeah.
And then number 10, someone who you thought was going to be quite high originally. Raiders. Yep, Raiders, 4%.
Yeah, I guess. This has always baffled me. I don't understand. Like, obviously now they're moving to LA. So I can see why Las Vegas, sorry. So I can see why people would want to support them now. But before, like 2016, it doesn't immediately occur to me why people would choose to support the Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think why, and I guess it's because I've always thought the Raiders fans sort of have that reputation of, we're the Raiders nation, sort of crazy outgoing fans.
Fair.
People might like to be part of that.
Fair. Yeah. I find it surprising that they're down at number 10 because they're one of the teams who I see hats off like around.
This is very interesting as well. Just out of interest now, I've just looked up in America the most popular teams and the least popular teams. So sort of asking fans who their favourite team was and who their least favourite team is.
Right.
America's favourite team is your Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
With 23%. Number 2, the Dallas Cowboys. And number 3, the New England Patriots. And then the least favourite teams is the Cowboys, the Patriots, and this one really surprises us, the Ravens.
Whoa.
So you can see how different this is to the UK, if this is accurate.
I just love how the Patriots and the Cowboys are in the top 3 for most avoided and most hated.
Yeah, like the Cowboys and the Patriots are the people's favourite teams, but also least favourite. But Green Bay is people's favourite team, and they're right down in 8th on least favourite.
I guess with Green Bay, they're sort of they've got the history, like you said. They're sort I can see how they're likable.
I also think our fans are very sort of we're not like, we don't go out saying we're the best. You know, I think Cowboys fans and Patriots fans sort of have a reputation for doing that.
Yeah.
I think the reason the Patriots are like a lot of people's least favourites is because people are jealous of their success, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're like this one. In America, everyone, like the lowest on the least favourite team, so like the least amount of people said that the Kansas City Chiefs are their least favourite team. Only 3.7% of people said that.
Oh.
So America likes Kansas.
Yeah. I guess that 3% will probably have come from divisional rivals.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah, definitely.
In America more than in the UK in terms of like sport, I feel like there's more, you feel more hatred towards more teams.
Yeah. Right, and then I guess we'll finish off by going back to the Chiefs. Obviously, you're a Chiefs fan. We'll sort of look up at some of what you've been doing this off-season, what you think for next season.
Okay, yeah.
Right, this one sort of questionable to me because he was probably one of your best defenders last season. I know, obviously, you had that infamous play in the AFC Championship game, but you have traded away D Ford for a 2020 second-round pick to the 49ers. Yeah. What was the thinking there?
I guess, in my opinion, I think the reason why we've had to get rid of the likes of D Ford, and I'm sure we'll get onto it, Justin Houston.
Yep. Justin Houston hasn't got a team yet, but I guess we can include them in this. He got cut.
Yeah. I think one of the main reasons for that getting rid of the sort of big profile players is for cap space.
Yeah.
Because we will need cap space for Mahomes.
Yeah, when his rookie contract finishes.
Yeah. I guess there'd be no point in us getting rid of sort of like reserve players if we wanted to do that. So we pretty much got to get rid of some of the big names.
Yeah, why this was questionable for me is because now I'm looking at it. You don't have any good pass rushers now outside of Chris Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So what do you think you're going to draft there?
Potentially, yeah.
Just hope that someone good in the first round still there.
I can definitely see that. I can see us drafting quite a lot of defensive players this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams will be. It's a very defensive heavy draft, isn't it?
Yeah, and I also think our defense needs improving more than our offense needs improving.
Oh, you probably had the best offense last season.
Yeah, so
it doesn't need touch to your offense.
Yeah, we brought in Chubb. Not Chubb, sorry.
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde. Yeah, we'll get on to him.
Okay.
Well, actually, we'll talk about it next. Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, but before we talk about that, our offense didn't really need that much improving.
Yeah.
So I can see maybe a couple more, or one or two more of our defensive players leaving, and then us possibly just trying to get some in the draft.
So do you think your tactic next year will literally just be outscore the other team?
Yeah, I think it will be. I feel like we're going to have to. We have to improve in our defense though. Like we can't concede. We're not going to win the Super Bowl if we concede points like we did last season. Like
Yeah.
even though we had the best offense, I didn't think we were going to win the Super Bowl purely because we concede too many points. Like
Right, that's
I don't
fair enough, I guess, yeah.
I don't think we'll win it this year either because we're still.
I think that's got to be your aim, though. I think your aim has to be win the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I think for us to aim to do that sort of into over the course of the next couple of years.
Yeah, look at the projects rather than a win now.
Yeah, I think because I feel like our offense, we will hopefully be able to hold on to people for at least one more season. And then that gives us another season to improve it in our defense.
Yeah, so obviously talking about that offense, I guess we'll talk about Carlos Hyde. He had a down year last year, it's safe to say, in Cleveland and Jacksonville. But the season before that, he rushed for 938 yards and had 8 touchdowns in 2017.
Yeah.
Could he bounce back with yous?
I hope so. I think running. To be fair, I think being a running back next season for the Chiefs, whoever it was going to be, whether it was going to be Damien Williams again,
yeah,
who I actually thought played really, really well considering the boot.
I thought under the circumstances he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, but I feel like whoever our running back was going to be, they were going to have a good season this season because everyone knows of the firepower that Mahomes has now. So when teams
against, he has weapons.
Yeah, he has weapons. He is also a big weapon himself.
Well, it's a bit harsh.
His right arm and his left arm, to be fair. But yeah, I think because people know of the strength we have through our passing game, I think that's going to open up opportunities in our rushing game.
Yeah.
Because
I definitely think Carlos Hyde can turn it around. I think he's got the quality to do that. I think being part of that offense in general will help build his confidence. I mean, if you're part of the best offense in the NFL, it's only going to be a good thing for you.
Yeah,
being surrounded by all that quality.
Yeah, for him to bounce back, I don't think there was realistically a better team he could have went into.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right, we'll get on to the big one now. Then, obviously, end of the Eric Berry era.
Yeah,
getting rid of him, getting on a bit.
Yeah,
the Chiefs add Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah,
on a 3-year, $42 million contract.
Yeah.
Is he worth that money?
Yeah, I'd say so. Cause I think he's one of the best safeties in the league.
Definitely top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're wanting a really good safety nowadays, you're gonna have to pay that kind of money.
Yeah, I think Landon Collins, when he signed for the Redskins this year, he sort of changed the safety market completely, didn't he?
Yeah,
he really got that. He got paid, and then that carried into the Matthew signing, the Earl Thomas signing. Adrian Amos probably signed with us for more than what he would have got originally. Yeah. It's changed.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I sort of like how we've replaced Berry pretty much with like a straight swap, if you get what I'm on about. Like, we've got rid of a very experienced safety and we've got in a very, very promising safety now.
Yeah.
As a replacement for him.
So this move's pretty. It such a big chunk of your cap space, but I agree with you. I think this is worth it because your defense needed that. It needed that star to be back there and lead that secondary.
Yeah, I feel it was quite unfortunate because Berry was injured for a lot of.
He's only played 3 regular season games in the past 2 years.
Yeah, I think the fact that if he was injured last season was a big miss. You know, if he was in there, we maybe would have had a better defense. We definitely would have had a better defense, but we would have we could have had sort of been in like the top half maybe.
Yeah, I think this is a good move though, because Matthew will only be 27 years old this year, so he's got plenty more years left in him, and he isn't. He is an upgrade on Berry at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He's worth that money.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's a good signing.
Yeah, I think if you're getting rid of Justin Houston and D Ford, you needed to make a big move like this to sort of compensate.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah.
And I also think Matthew, what's very underrated about him is he can tackle like all over the field. I know he got three sacks last year, which for a safety is pretty good going.
Yeah.
He's coming that far forward.
It's gonna be interesting to see him.
Well, I just think he's like a leader figure. I just think this is going to help your whole defense, not just the secondary. I think he's just going to be good to have in there.
Yeah. I think any NFL defense is helped by having someone back there who is able to marshal everyone and make key decisions that change games, and hopefully that guy for us.
All right, I'll ask you one last question then.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
What are the Chiefs going to do next season?
As in, like, a prediction of where we're going to end up.
Where you're going to finish? You're going to make the playoffs? If you do make the playoffs, how far?
I'd like to think we'd make the playoffs. Yeah. It's going to be interesting in our division, to be fair, because
the Raiders have stepped it up.
The Raiders have improved. You know,
the Chargers are always going to be coming at you.
The Chargers, surprised me last season. The Chargers surprised me. I didn't expect them to do as well as they did. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'd like to see us get to the AFC conference. Well, I mean, obviously, I'd like us to win the Super Bowl, but I think realistically, AFC conference would be successful.
Yeah, where you made last year.
But I think a more realistic thing would be divisional final.
Yeah. So you would be happy even if you still done worse than last year?
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, for me, I think what we should be doing is waiting, not necessarily waiting a year, but sort of making the big push in a year or two.
Yeah, I know this isn't as extreme for you, but I mentioned that Adam yesterday. The Giants were sort of, with the OBJ trade, maybe taking a 1 step back, 2 step forward sort of move.
Yeah.
Is that maybe getting rid of D Ford and these players to bring in players like Tyrann Mathieu? Is that sort of the approach you would like to see?
I think so.
But on a shorter scale.
Yeah, it's more like maybe like one hop back and then hops forward.
A tiptoe back.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to next season in general. I think it's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. Right, I would love to have you back on again in the future, Andy.
I'd love to.
Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Been lovely speaking to you. Thanks for listening, everyone. Goodbye.